All right, we are back after the power cut. Hmm. So, usually we see computers with both SSDs and hard disk, and we install the operating system, the OS, right? The manager of the computer in SSD for better boot time. I repeat, we install the operating system in the SSD for faster boot times. Why? Because SSD has no moving parts. This one has moving parts. Moving parts means it will be slow, right? So anything which runs on electronics or will flip or will change its state with the speed of light, right? And mechanical things we cannot achieve speed of light. Almost impossible. It will always be faster. So that's why we install the operating system on SSD, and this will give us a much better experience. So if your current laptop is very slow, the best advice that I can give anyone is to replace your hard disk with an SSD, and it will change your life. This is the best. I mean, there are other things, but this is the cheapest and the best advice. So hereafter, if anyone asks you to how can I speed up my computer, this is the best way. And I have actually done this. Like the laptop which I had a Lenovo laptop. I actually swapped my hard disk with an SSD and it changed everything. Like that laptop had become, it was so old that it became almost unusable. But as soon as I put in a SSD, and you need to install the OS as well. And once you do that, it will just change everything. Okay. Uh, these are called flash memory and digital camera pen drive. But nowadays we have hard disk as well. This you would have seen. Where external devices or peripheral connect to a computer, and these ports are available at the rear or front of the computer. We connect peripherals with the computer with a cable that attaches to one of the ports. Have you ever seen this? Okay. Like it's a fun activity to try and to disconnect all the cables and then connect them back. You can try it if you ever come across this. Okay. So these were the ports we used. We used to use this. How do I frame this sentence? We used to use it when in the olden days when USB was not that popular. So to connect your uh, mouse, you have to use this green one, and to connect the keyboard, you have to use this. They were PS2 ports. These are serial ports. VGA is for video. Then so connecting the for connecting the monitor. This is the USB and then audio. Yeah. PS2 for mouse and keyboard. Okay. VGA is for monitor and screen. Serial. So there is something called SATA. This is the cable with which we connect the hard drive. So this is serial something. I don't remember the full form. They are not used. So these are the serial ports. They used to connect printable. I can send 8 bits at a time. So these are just different types of ports, and then they have given how much bandwidth each port had. So these are just means of communication, medium of communication. Okay, this we have seen. Infrared, what we use in televisions. Television. Bluetooth. We need a Bluetooth chip installed, and only after that we can use Bluetooth. 2 MB per second. Has the ability to interact with a number of different devices and provide single plug socket connection. Or if I can ideal to connect scanner digital camera faster than USB. Okay. These are these are from the medieval times. When I say medieval times, before 2015. Okay. Nowadays everything is obsolete. We have Type C and it has a lot of speed. This I think we can do, right? The one thing that we should remember is primary is memory. It interacts directly with the CPU. Secondary memory will never do that. Okay. Your RAM is volatile, but ROM is not volatile. But ROM is a primary memory. Mhm. We'll do this when we do the revision thing. Okay. Yeah. Programming methodology. Okay. Finally, the exciting part. The theories are over. Hopefully, you have a basic idea. Okay. What is a computer? What are the different components and how do they interact with each other? Right? How do we store data? How do we represent numbers? All that. What is an algorithm? Okay. Now we are starting the main part. This is the stepping stone, the basic foundation stepping stone towards the coding and everything. So whenever we write code, we are doing nothing but we are just converting algorithms into one of the languages, one of the chosen languages. Okay, and flowcharts are nothing but a visual way to represent the algorithms. Okay, so what is algorithm? Step by step process.
Solving a well-defined
Computational problem. So in order to solve any complex real life problem, first we have to define the problem and then design an algorithm to solve it. And the surprising part is we do make algorithms and execute them every day. It's just that we are learning it formally here, nothing else. Like I think in this book as well, they'll give one example of making tea. So whenever you have to make tea, in your head, probably you will just run through all the steps of making the tea. Like will be get water. Okay, let me use this. So like the step one will be get water. Then step two will be uh, get stove. Right. Probably we don't think at this granular level. Maybe because we know ki we have stove, so we don't think about it. But in formal language, we will consider each and everything. Okay, once we have water and stove, we'll need a lighter, right? You need a matchstick. Okay. Then we will light the stove. Then we'll need a utensil as well. Take a pan, a saucepan. Then the next step will be put water in pan. Seventh step will be put on burner. Sorry, what did you say?
tea leaves.
Tea leaves, right? We need leaves as well. So, yeah, this is a very good point. I will come to it. So we'll put on the burner. Now, get tea leaves. So I can write getting tea leaves at the as the eighth step as well and as the third step as well. In both the scenarios, I'll be able to make tea. But I think putting this, getting the tea leaves before we light the stove is is a better practice, right? So even though this order of making tea is correct, it is always recommended to get the tea leaves before, right? So here we can get an idea ki we can solve one problem in many ways, but just solving the problem is always not enough. We need to uh, take care of the best practices as well. That is very important. Okay, like solving problems anyone can do, but probably solving it in the best possible way, saving the resources. Like if I go and get the tea right now when the stove is already lit, maybe we will be wasting the fuel, or maybe someone can counter here by saying ki the water has not boiled, so I'm just letting the water boil. So maybe getting the tea leaves here is a better step. Okay, so there is no correct answer here. If you have a good enough reason, if you're able to justify the costs and the performance, then you can get away with this solution as well. Okay, so we'll get the tea leaves. Now the water is warm. We'll put the tea leaves, put tea in pan. Okay, then strain tea. Then drink maybe or serve. Okay,
What about milk and sugar?
I did not understand. Sorry. Okay. So this is an algorithm to make tea. If anyone goes through this algorithm, this set of instructions, this process, he'll be able to make tea every time. Okay. So we define a problem, we design an algorithm to solve it. Okay. Writing and executing a simple program may be easy. However, for executing a bigger one, each part of the program must be well organized. In short, algorithms are used to simplify the program implementation. Now, the next step is making the flowchart. It is a type of diagram that represents an algorithm or process showing that steps as boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting them with arrows. Then the flowchart will be converted into program code. Okay. Effective method expressed as a finite list of well-defined instructions for calculating a function starting from initial state and initial input. Describe a computation which will eventually produce output when executed. We can solve solving problems. However, before writing a program, we need to write the steps to solve in simple English. What we did here. This step-by-step procedure to solve the problem is called algorithm. Okay, they're making noodles. They updated the book. I think they had tea before. I mean, I did not read this exact book. We had a different book. Okay, as I mentioned, I learned C++ and not Python. So I think Python people prefer Maggie. Yeah, the same thing. They added a start and stop. Okay.
Good morning. Start. Stop.
Okay. See, the way of execution of programs shall be categorized into three ways: selection statement, iteration, looping. This is called, okay, all this is not, you don't need all this.
Full
Okay.
structure. I develop a defined
Hmm.
area for rectangle.
Take length, breadth, store them, multiply, eliminate, store it in area. Okay. Print area, stop.
One after another, like this examples are executed on the sequential statement. This program, some portion of the program is executed based on the conditional test. If the conditional test is true, the compiler will execute some part of the program. Otherwise, it will execute the other part of the program.
Like in this example, key check the age. If age is greater than, then you are eligible to vote. If it is less than, it will not execute this step 4. It will directly go to step 5. Okay. So depending on the condition, either this will be executed or this will be. I think this is very obvious. Should we actually write code and try to solve these problems? What do you think? Then you will be able to follow along. They want to do it? No?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Hmm. Let's do this. Well, okay, let's do each one of them. Uh, to begin with, go to Google Chrome, okay, and type VS Code
VS Code.
or hold on.
VS.
Uh, best ID for JetBrains, PyCharm. Yeah, let's go with VS Code. So if you go to VS Code, go to downloads, you'll be able to download this. Download the Windows 11. Okay.
Download Visual Studio Code.
Hmm. Okay.
For Windows.
So let me know if you face any issues. Till then, I have it already installed. I'll open this. Okay, so when you open it, oh shit. So when you open it, you'll see something like this. Okay. So it should be in progress. Is it in progress? The download.
Oh, yeah. VS Code. User setup x64 1.1.7.0. I accept the agreement or I do not accept the agreement. I accept it. Next, next. Create a desktop icon. Add open with mode action to the system.
We'll pause for a while.
Next, install. Preparing to install.